we have no option, as I can see it right now, but to face the end times. There's no way that Judaism, Islam, and Christianity can continue to exist in the way that it does right now. There's no way. There's going to have to come a point where they're all going to have to answer to each other. Whose God is the real God? Whose tradition is the right way? And that's kind of what we're witnessing right now.
Tinfoil hat.
Oh, what the f*** are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted. All right, guys, welcome to Tinfoil Hat live from the Wolfpack Gold, Silver, and Bitcoin. That's right, Wise Wolf, Gold and Silver. Just go to samtripoli.gold, use the promo code TINFOIL, and you too can get in on the Precious Metals game for as little as $50 a month. And I am extremely excited to have our guest back. We're getting a lot of bangers as we hurl towards the big 1000th episode. He's been on a couple times, all of them super interesting. So I'm very excited to have him back. Please welcome to Tinfoil Hat once again, Esoteric Eddie. How are you, buddy?
What up? Doing great, man. Glad to be back. Thank you for having me. Thank you to everybody for supporting over all the years.
Well, we're very excited. I'd heard through the streets were talking that you had taken a break from podcasting, but you said you had a big thing happen to you. So could you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, man. I became a father almost a year ago.
Congrats, buddy.
And so life got, thank you, man. Yeah, it put a lot into perspective. But yeah, I just got busy with that. And then other life stuff got in the way. I mean, I never stopped making content. I kind of shifted to more short form, a lot of Instagram reels and stuff like that. But I'm slowly coming back.
He's back, and I love it. So, Eddie, over time, you've had some very interesting episodes, some very deep episodes. You talked about Saint Lucifer and that interesting stuff. So as the years go by and we do a ton of shows, I don't even know how many shows we do a year, but we do a bunch of them. We almost do 2 a year, maybe a little less, 2 a week, excuse me. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot more. So I come at you a little bit more educated this time, not at you, but with you, in the esoteric and the stuff like that. I'm very open-minded to it. I am under the belief right now that there's not one story, even though, like, for me, this is Sam speaking, it's Jesus or get out. Nobody has to believe in that or whatever. That's just my personal thing. But everything else is, I'm open-minded to it, that there's a lot more going on and a lot more history going on, and that one version isn't the way to look at everything, and that it's a lot more open. It's a lot more interesting than everybody wants to believe. It's like, these control systems they put on us to, I'm not into that. I'm like, it's all possible in my humble opinion. So where would you like to begin?
Great question, man. Before we get started, also, I just wanted to say, I also have an amazing woman who entered my life too, who I've been growing a new life with. So most of my life has been focused on being a family man, and handling life, business, and all kinds of stuff, but always finding time to dive back into these truths and trying to, for my own self, extrapolate what the heck is going on, but also whenever I find interesting facts that I think could help the community, coming back in here, diving in with you guys and just presenting what I know. or what I've found. So where I want to start, I just want to tell the people why I'm here today. There's a couple of reasons why I'm here today, and then I'll explain to you guys what I'm going to talk about. So there's two main reasons why I'm here today. Number one, I just dropped my most recent documentary, which I'm stoked on because this is actually the biggest piece I've worked on in probably over a year. As you mentioned earlier, I've been pretty much on a hiatus. I haven't dropped anything major like this in a while. So this is my first documentary in a while. It's about an hour long, and it's doing super great. A lot of people are receiving it well, showing it a lot of love. And the documentary is on YouTube. It's titled The Great Noticing. And it basically focuses on this surge of young people who are awakening to the influence that Zionism has had on America and standing up against it. And so I analyze that and ask the question, is there any veracity to the awakening they're having? And if so, what is that? So I'm here to promote that documentary, which is going to also tie into what I want to talk about.
We'll have it all linked in. Top link at the at the beginning of the description. It's right there. Click it. Check it out.
Yeah, man. So go check that out. Second reason, I watched your episode on Danny Jones, and of course that was amazing. I was happy to see you on there, and but when you opened it up, I started laughing. You opened it up by talking about the Molochians and the Luciferians. And look, I love you, Sam. I love what you do. And when I heard that, I was laughing because I was like, hell yeah, this is classic Sam Tripoli shit right here. You know what I mean? Let's go. But I was a bit frustrated too because I felt that I had failed as a presenter. So I'm also kind of coming back in the space because I feel like I didn't do my job to properly explain some of this stuff to the people out there, because I feel like we're getting to a place in this life where things are getting really real as far as the violence that the elite in this world are perpetuating. And us in this community, if you want to call it that, the truther community, the spiritual community, conspiracy community, we tend to kind of just hang around in thought pools, if you will, right? But this life is real. You know, things are happening on a real level. And I feel like it's also our duty, at least the influencers in this space, to progress and really look at what we can call facts and start to move forward with these facts, right? At least that's what I feel. And at least that's what I try to do. And so when I heard you talking about the Molochians and the Luciferians, I was like, yeah, you know, this is fun stuff. But again, I was upset because I felt like I had failed. I have a documentary out there also that I put out 2 years ago on Moloch. And of course, I did the documentary and the book and the podcast tour on Lucifer. And I want to talk a little bit about Moloch first.
Okay.
Because the truth is, and now, although there might be people out there that worship Moloch, whoever they are, Hillary Clinton or whatever, you know, the historical truth, I'll say, I'm not here to say I know the truth and everything, but the historical truth is that Moloch actually never existed outside of the Bible. And it's
interesting.
Yeah. And I think most of us in the conspiracy community heard about Moloch for the first time through Alex Jones and through his exposure of the Bohemian Grove. And it's funny because if you go back and watch that footage, not once in the entirety of the ceremony that he was filming was Moloch mentioned. And Alex Jones was always saying they're worshiping Moloch, this big statue of Moloch. And look, I love Alex Jones. I grew up on Alex Jones. But the statue they're worshiping is a statue of an owl. Not once in the history of Moloch was he ever referred to as an owl. So Alex Jones was simply exaggerating and I'm not saying he did that on purpose. It's Alex Jones. You know what I'm saying? He just did it. And I'm here to say we don't need to exaggerate. The world is already crazy as it is. We don't need to exaggerate the fact that there are political elitists dressing up in robes in Northern California, parading around with this crazy ceremony to a big owl and a mock sacrifice. I mean, that in itself is crazy. We don't need to exaggerate Moloch into the picture.
Okay. So I'm very interested in this. I'm always open-minded, keep my head on the swivel of all time, okay? So when you say that Moloch never existed outside of the Bible, when this, and Johnny, anybody jump in on this, when they talk about King Solomon and he meets I have a whole joke on it right now about like pussy is the greatest weapon of mass destruction of all time. And I bring up all the instances in which it destroyed empires. And one of them is Solomon. The story is that Solomon meets a pagan, hits it, and then suddenly he's worshiping Moloch and Remphan. Now, are you saying that is only a Bible story, that does not exist outside of the Christian Bible story?
What I want to say specifically is the concept of Moloch is misunderstood. And specifically, the name Moloch and the deity Moloch it does not exist outside of the Bible. Now, King Solomon, I believe, was a real guy. And what he did, I believe, actually happened. But we misinterpreted Moloch. Moloch is not a deity. And I have a full documentary on this as well that you can go check out. And this is important. I'm going to explain to you why this is important and why and how we misinterpreted this. So to answer your question, yeah, what King Solomon was real, what he did was real, but there was never a deity named Moloch in ancient times outside of the Bible. The Bible was simplifying something that happened in ancient times. So when we look at that area of the world in ancient times, the Middle East and some of the surrounding areas, we can definitely find child sacrifice. I mean, it was rampant, specifically through the form of burning. And in my documentary, I cover some of these early historians who talked about it. For example, in the 4th century before Christ era, we have a scholar by the name of Clitarchus. And he writes about this. He mentioned that in Carthage, which is like near the Mediterranean area of today, that there were Phoenicians and Canaanites performing child sacrifice. But he never said they were performing it to Moloch. He said they were performing it to Kronos, which was their version of Saturn. Same thing, hundreds of years later, 1st century BC, another scholar by the name of Diodorus Siculus wrote the same thing. He saw still hundreds of years later, these people were still practicing child sacrifice through the form of burning. But he did not mention Moloch. He said they were doing it to their god Kronos. Same thing. Same thing. Hundreds of years later, in the 2nd century of the Common Era or Christ era, the famous historian Tertullian, which was an amazing writer, said the same thing about the same area. They're performing child sacrifice through the form of burning, but they're doing it to their god Saturn, which is a different version of Kronos.
Yes.
Okay, so in ancient times, we will find child sacrifice through the form of burning, but we will never find the name Moloch. The name Moloch will never exist outside of the Bible. There was no deity by the name of Moloch. So present day scholars have excavated those areas of ancient Carthage and have found what they call tophets. Now, tophets are basically these graveyard sites where a bunch of jars and vases of human ashes remain. And most of those human ashes are the ashes of babies and children. And amongst these Tophets, we find inscriptions in which it's concluded that the parents of these children were willfully giving up their children to these in these fire sacrifices, but we never find the name Moloch. We only find the Canaanite gods, the most prominent one being Baal or Baal. We'll call him Baal for today. So we never find Moloch. We find all these Canaanite gods among these sacrifice areas. All right. So in the Old Testament, the way we got the name Moloch was as follows. As we know, as most of us know, Hebrew is missing, I believe, the vowels in every word. So every word is abbreviated. And this is also a core motif in most of my work, is how we've misinterpreted these Hebrew words. So you can interpret a lot of these Hebrew words in different ways. So the word that is used for Moloch in the Old Testament is MLK.
MLK, Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And so that's the Hebrew word for Moloch, MLK, which is actually the root word for many Hebrew words. And most of them have to do with royalty and divinity. For example, Melech is also the same. It comes from the same root word. Melech means king. Malach with an A. Malach means angel or messenger of God.
Whoa.
Yeah. And in the Old Testament, where Moloch is introduced to us, we are told that the people who worshipped Moloch were the Ammonites. Okay? And again, the word Melech means king. Now, the Israelites had a Melech as well as the other kingdoms. They all had their Melech. Hebrew is very playful. It's very intelligent. So the Israelites wanted to distinguish themselves or disassociate themselves from the Ammonites, who they viewed as horrendous. So they said, we worship our Melech. They worship their Moloch, their Molech. And most of us pronounce Moloch M-O-L-O-C-H, Moloch. That's actually not how it's pronounced in the Old Testament in Hebrew. It's actually spelled M-O-L-E-C-H, which is important because what they were saying is we worship our Melech, our king. The Ammonites worship their Molech. And again, Hebrew is playful. It's intelligent. They threw the O in there, but the O was borrowed from the word boseth, which means shame. And this is something only Hebrew scholars can really pick up on. And I'm no Hebrew scholar. It took me like 5 months of research, reading all kinds of books and PDFs and listening to lectures to put pieces all together into the documentary that I have on my channel. And so the Hebrew scholars and writers took the O from Boseth, which means shame, and threw it in the middle of Melech. So what they were saying is, we worship our Melech, who's an actual worthy deity. You guys have a Molech.
Interesting.
Yep.
So they were shit talking.
Exactly.
Like, we worship our God, you guys worship some shameful shit.
Exactly.
That's super interesting, because that kind of, man, it's super interesting, dude. Like, the misinterpretation of stuff almost seems like purposeful to cause division and fighting and all that stuff. And, again, I've been kind of like just looking into like the Kabbalah and what's in there and what is perceived as darkness, and then I guess when people start to look at that stuff, so when you look at like the story of Solomon and whether that's real or not, and then the Israelites, right, get kicked out of Israel for worshiping and doing sacrifice. Do you think any of that's real?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It gets crazier.
Okay. I'm all about this.
So, and again, I'm not the first one saying this. This isn't Esoteric Eddie's grand revelation. I'm just a writer. I'm a researcher.
No, I
I'm
get that, dude.
And one of the first major scholars to come out and start saying this and noticing this was actually a German scholar of the 20th century by the name of Otto Eisfeld. He wrote extensively on this. And a lot of his work was later verified by present-day scholars excavating the area. And what he said is not only was Moloch not a deity, but he thinks that the word MLK was a type of sacrifice. Not a god that they were sacrificing to, but a type of sacrifice that they were doing to their gods.
That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that opens up a lot of problems that the church doesn't want to deal with, because there is a verse in the Bible that these scholars like Otto were analyzing, which led to this conclusion. One in particular being Zephaniah 1:5b, where, and I paraphrase, it says that God condemns those that swear by the Lord and swear by Moloch. And so a lot of Christians of today would take that as saying, oh, God was condemning people who were worshiping God and other gods. Mm-hmm. But we misinterpreted that. The word is swear by the Lord and swear by Moloch, not to Moloch, but by Moloch. So what Otto realized is that what they were actually saying is God condemns people who praise Yahweh in the form of ritual sacrificing, which was happening. And that's the whole story of Exodus. That's the whole story of Genesis with Moses. The whole story of Moses is him trying to get his people to stop worshiping these other gods and committing sacrifice to these other gods. That's the whole thing. That's his whole frustration. And so the early Israelites were just an offshoot of the Canaanites. They were a branch of the Canaanites that broke off and were introduced to this other strange God that called himself Yahweh, who led them through the desert with Moses and was trying to get them to worship him and not the other gods. But in those early days, when they broke off, they were still falling to their old ways of worshiping multiple gods in the form of idolatry and ritual sacrifice. And so scholars don't want to open this problem up because it's basically proof that the early Israelites were still sacrificing to Yahweh in the form of ritual sacrifice, possibly in the form of child ritual sacrifice.
Ooh. And Yahweh is the Christian God, or who is Yahweh?
Yahweh is actually the Jewish God.
Okay. And is Jesus Yahweh? No.
No. I mean, it's all philosophy. It's philosophy, right? Because Christians of today, I guess a part of Christians of today, a sector of them would say that God and Jesus are one and the same. And this was a problem for the early church. The whole Council of Nicaea thing was about the church trying to settle that debate. Is Jesus God, or is Jesus separate from God? That's what the Council of Nicaea is actually about, primarily. There are other issues that they had to work out, but that was the main one. So it's all philosophy. I mean, if we're as Christians, if we're going to say Jesus and God are one and the same, then we have to admit that Jesus and Yahweh are the same. Because Yahweh is the God of the Jews who Jesus claimed to be a son of. And so that's where it gets all confounded and becomes philosophical and a battle or argument of semantics.
Guys, if you're looking for a way to understand the crypto market, there's one place you want to go, and that is Copy My Crypto. That's right. There's no better person to listen to about what the next big crypto coin is going to be than our friend James McMahon. Let me tell you about Copy My Crypto. Does it piss you off to watch crypto fly up in price for over a decade and you've still done nothing about it? Yeah, it makes sense. Crypto is complicated and really boring. But here's the good news. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or to make money like so many have. The copymycrypto.com membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally owns, which means you just copy him. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You just simply copy along. So let me tell you about James, okay? He runs Crypto with James YouTube channel, which has like 100,000 followers on it, like subscribers. It's unbelievable. In the summer of 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 cryptos. Had you put in $100 in each one, it went on to be worth over $123,000. Of the 26 cryptos, his top pick of the year, the one he singled out, called Phantom, went up 692 times from when he said, okay? That one call alone retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go on YouTube and verify this yourself. So if you'd like to join the over 3,000 members who copy James, then pause what you're doing and head right over to copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's TFH. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but our viewers get full access for just $1. Okay? Yes, you missed out on Bitcoin. That's fine. You can even get a little piece, but don't even worry about that. But there's over 2 million other cryptos. Do you really think you've missed out on all of them? Guys, don't waste any more time, okay? Go to the site and read it for yourself. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/tinfoil hat. It's ended money worries for so many. It just may do the same for you. And we thank him for sponsoring the show. Hey guys, listen, nobody likes to talk about life insurance, but it's a necessary part of life, okay? And that's why I trust my friends at Ethos to find the best deal on life insurance out there. Let me tell you about Ethos. Ethos makes getting life insurance fast and easy, 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. There's no medical exams. You just answer a few simple health questions. You can get up to $3 million in coverage, okay? Some policies are as low as $30 a month. Ethos has a 4.8 of 5-star on Trustpilot and over 3,000 reviews. So here's what we need you to do. Help protect your family with life insurance through Ethos. Get your instant free quote at ethos.com/tinfoil. That is ethos.com/tinfoil. Application times and rates may vary, and we thank them for sponsoring the show. So going back, and I'm interested in this conversation we're having right now, but going back, it was Moloch is king.
Yeah.
And then they were talking shit on this other group. So they said they threw a hole in there, and then it became Moloch. Like you're worshiping what's the Moloch? What's the oath for? Shame. You're worshiping a god of shame.
Yeah.
Okay. That's super interesting. So the real deity, which kind of gets into this, it's really interesting because what if they're just getting us to call this Kronos king? Like that's what they get you to do. They get you to they play word games with you. Right? If the whole time we're talking, it's Moloch.
Well, how much of it is word games and how much of it is just something that would have been known at the time, people who read it in context.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
But over time, that gets lost.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm asking that genuinely. I don't know, but I wonder.
It's interesting, dude. That's crazy. So ball is real because if you study the Zohar, dude, like if you become a master of the Zohar, do you know what you become? What your title is?
What?
Baal Shem. That is crazy.
Baal Shem.
Baal Shem. But the thing that stands out is Baal. Not B-A-L-L, B-A-A-L, which is the dark entity. Am I wrong here?
No, man. And so it gets even crazier, right? So we know this now, right? That there was no Moloch deity. I will pay somebody $100 to find a reference of Moloch as a deity outside of the Bible. You're not going to find it
In ancient times.
in ancient times. Yeah, you're not going to find it. But this is where it gets crazy, right? So Otto Eisfeld and many modern day scholars agree that Moloch referred to a type of sacrifice. So we know that much. Now here's the other part. What the other aspect of Moloch is that he was always depicted as a bull. And that did exist in ancient times. These writers that I spoke of in the beginning, when they wrote about the child sacrifice that they witnessed, they all did write that they were throwing these children into these bronze statues of a bull. That did exist. Now, when we ask ourselves, okay, we had child sacrifice in ancient times, and it was happening in these weird rituals to these bronze bull statues.
Those bulls, do they heat them up and then they have a horn in them? Is that the type of bull you're talking about?
Yeah, it's basically like a bronze statue of a bull with a hole in it. Yeah,
They have multiple ovens through it.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
it's like an
passing
oven.
through the fire is kind of how they.
Yeah, when you
If I'm not
scream,
mistaken,
and when you
how they
scream, they
describe
have a horn in there. Where
No, what they did, dude,
Oh.
is they had like bands playing so loud that you couldn't hear the kids crying.
It reminds me of the Wicker Man, right? Like, remember that? Oh, horrible.
So dark. Like, you have a baby, I have kids. Like,
Yeah.
the notion of handing your child to be sacrificed, it's like, go yourself.
Oh yeah, man.
Genuinely.
And that gets into this. Okay, I don't want to go too far off, but it's like this whole pushing right now of like, I'm listening to these like Zionist, Christian Zionist people talking about like, you know, the world's going to go and they're going to go to war with Israel. And then that's when Jesus comes back down and wipes everybody out. And I'm going to say something that could lose everybody, but it's really hard for me to get behind that with what Israel's doing right now. It's really hard for me to get behind that. And maybe that's blasphemy, Johnny. You could say it is if it is, but it's very hard for me to think that a God that is taught that this guy that we all believe is this wonderful spirit that came down and taught us to love each other and gave us these rules to thrive in this energy field that we live in would suddenly come and defend a bunch of people that are like hanging people simply because they're Palestinian, bombing children, killing children, torturing children, accepting pedophiles who are on the run from I can't get, and maybe I'm just wrong and I pay for that eternally, but I can't get behind that, dude. I know we had the Nephilim Death Squad guys
the people Jesus was at war with were all Jews. I mean, with respect to like theology, and the people he had those differences with throughout the Bible were all Jewish. I mean, they were people. Yeah, no, I don't. No, I mean, if you're suggesting that somehow,
I'm saying like what I've seen
that it
these
could
people
be
say.
sacrilegious somehow to crise Israelis because they're the chosen. I mean, those are the.
But that's what they believe is going to happen, which is hilarious because, they think Jesus is in hell burning in excrement. It's like Ben.
Some of them.
Well,
I mean, it seems to me a lot of the Jewish people I know,
the Torah Jews,
they're real hardcores. Yeah,
the Torah don't believe that, but the Talmud, and I have good friends of mine that talk about studying the Talmud all the time, and the Zohar people, like they're as crazy as the Talmud guys. So
but there's plenty that just aren't religious at all, like the power gay crew. You know what I mean?
No, I get that. Again, this isn't condemning of an entire people.
No, I'm not. I'm defending you more than what I'm saying is that I, yeah, I don't. I just think that you have to take those things separately. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and it's the whole discussion is this Israel the Israel of the Bible? And it's very hard for me to believe that when it's like your boy's burning in hell and excrement. And then they look at all like, and I want to get back to what Eddie's talking about because super interesting, but like. I'm really getting over all this cultural fighting right now. Black, white, straight, gay, man, women, all that bullshit. Because it's just literally smokescreen shit. to what's really going on. And there is a group of radical people that believe everybody else is literally cattle and that they have to basically hurt us. And that's why they have no problems with death. That's why they laugh when they shoot kids. It's literally like when you hear Joe Rogan going and shooting elk with a bow staff. Like, oh, dude, we're doing them a favor, right? It's like, that's how they look at it, dude. I mean, and that's what people don't understand. That is why they're spraying our skies. That's why there's chemicals in our food. That's why pornography is free and it's everywhere. And that's why our culture is so toxic, because this small group of people are managing everything. Is it all that group? No, because they fall for it too. But this small group thinks that if we're lucky, they'll keep up, and the ones that they're going to keep on alive are the perfect ones, and they're going to be kept alive because they are going to be slaves. I mean, it's crazy to me. It's just, and we're just arguing about black and white and straight and gay and men and women. Just crazy to me. Just you have no, and it's like, oh man, worry about a Sharia law, you know? It's like, I look at Sharia law the same way I look at trans furries, okay? Whatever you want to do in your house, go have a good time. In the city square, shut the fuck up, chill the fuck out, and let's just all just be civil. But they want you to worry about Sharia law when no hide laws are just coming. It's crazy to me. It's just absolutely insanity to me. It's just insane. I did a show with Kurt Metzger. We're just, it's all Kabbalah. It's all Kabbalah. It's Kabbalah. And I had to text Adam Green. I'm like, you were right. You were right. As much as you beat me up and give me shit on the internet, you're right. You know? So I think what you're saying is super interesting to me, because everything is word magic with them. Everything's, and when I say them, I mean the elites.
Yeah.
It's all word magic, dude.
Yeah, man. Well said. So really the final point on Moloch, and then I want to go forward with the rest of the subjects, is when we look back in ancient times and we ask ourselves, okay, there was child sacrifice happening, and it was happening in these weird rituals with these bronze statues of bulls. Who were they really doing this for and to? When we research those areas, the only deities in those areas that were being referred to as bulls and depicted as bulls were yet again the Anunnaki. Those are the only gods in those times, in those areas, who were being worshipped and depicted as bulls. So these mentions in the Bible of these bull deities are actually referring to the Anunnaki. And that shouldn't be a surprise at this point. I mean, I've written books on that, done documentaries on that. I'm sure you've all have realized that at this point too. And it's important because it's the part of history that the Abrahamic faiths try to hide. Because when you put that part into it, right? When you add that part into the history of the Abrahamic faiths, it exposes the foundations. Because everybody wants to believe that Judaism just came out of nowhere, right? Literally, God came from a mountain and gave Moses the tablets. Jesus came from the sky and gave us, gave the apostles the creed and the mission. Muhammad was given this decree from Allah, right? Like, it's like we want to believe that these things just sprang out of nowhere. But the truth is, these all came from a historical lineage of a time that's lost to humanity, which is the time period of the Anunnaki. It all comes from that, right? So for most of human history, in this small 6,000 to 7,000 year timeline that we're currently in, we worshipped the Anunnaki. And the Bible made that clear. The Bible obfuscates that part of history. It doesn't completely ignore it. It obfuscates it if you can read between the lines. The Bible tells us in many verses that prior to Yahweh coming, the Israelites worshipped many gods, and that El was the head of those gods, and El was just a later rendition of the Anunnaki gods. So we were worshiping the Anunnaki, and we were sacrificing our children to the Anunnaki. Those were the gods. Those were the Molochs that existed in ancient time. And those are the same Molochs that influenced Judaism, which Judaism was founded on. And later, Christianity came out of, and then later, Islam also came out of. And so that's pretty much what I wanted to get out of the way with Moloch, is he never existed as a deity. It never was a deity. It was a simplified explanation of the Anunnaki period of human history when we were worshiping these gods through ritual sacrifice. And the craziest part about all of it is that tradition of sacrificing your child was actually carried on throughout Judaism, first starting with Abraham being told by God to sacrifice his son Isaac, and then all the way to the very end, when God for so loved the world that he gave his one and only begotten son in a ritual sacrifice.
It's so crazy, dude.
Nuts.
And guys, wasn't I talking about how when Matt came on, Matt LaCroix, how his episode and this Von Galt's episode, how they very much like resonated with each other? And here we are again.
Yeah.
We just had a whole story about all these ancient civilizations and Enki and the Anunnaki.
You just tied it all in.
And then he comes back here, and then here we are again. It's very interesting how Matt LaCroix's episodes connect with so much stuff. But it's like I am open-minded to all this. Again, I do think Jesus was special and that he, there's people who say he didn't exist. There's people who say he's this. Johnny and I have had discussions. He seems to be the most recorded person of all time, and his teachings are very simple. High vibrational actions bring in high vibrational energy. That's how I see it, But man, this stuff really resonates with me. I do think there is some control grid stuff going on with a lot of these religions. And also some divide and conquer as well. You believe this, they believe that. Oh, let's fight with each other and let's all just do human sacrifice. As we talked about on the last episode, that war is about destroying ancient things and sacrifice. Yeah. Very interesting to me, dude. Very interesting to me. Again, never telling anybody what to believe or how to believe or disrespecting anyone's religion. All are welcome, and I love the discussion. Someone could come in, give me a counterpoint. I'd find that interesting as well. So again, these are just conversations, but man, I find that very interesting, dude. So Moloch is the word for king.
Yeah.
And Moloch, you think, is the sacrifice.
Jesus was referred to as a Melech.
And then Moloch is the action of sacrifice to the Moloch?
Yeah.
Interesting, dude.
Does this tie in the Aztecs too?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they did sacrifice.
They
I'm
sacrificed.
sure it does.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
I'm sure it does. Yeah, for some weird reason, we were just all into that in ancient times.
Let me ask you something. Is it that your belief through your research that fallen angels is another word for Anunnaki? Another phrase?
Fallen angel. I mean,
because
yes and no.
Hindus and Vedic astrology both talk about God trapping entities here.
Yeah.
And those are before the Abrahamic religions. But they both talk about God. Like in Vedic, I think it's 2. In Hinduism, it's 4. I believe. I might be wrong on those numbers, or it could be flipped. And then obviously, in the Abrahamic religions or Christianities, it's 33%. So it's like interesting to me. Guys, listen, we're always wondering what kind of gift we can give for our loved ones. Well, I got the best gift, and that is the gift of health. That's right. Superpower is one of the best gifts you can get. It's a test that tests their metabolic health, inflammation, nutrients, liver, kidney, and it just goes on and on. It's the best gift you can give, the best gift you can give, the gift of health. Let me tell you about Superpower. Superpower, they basically believe humans could live 100 years if they took care of their bodies right, dude. That's what we all have that potential in us for sure. You just need to get the right help, okay? In the future, you're just going to be laughing about how ridiculous healthcare was in the back in the day. Superpower is going to change the way you deal with your health, okay? And they're the best at it, right?
Yeah, Superpower will send a licensed professional to your home, or you can visit a nearby lab. It's one simple blood draw with more than 100 biomarkers, which is way more than what you usually get, and it's a way to unlock a real understanding of your body. Their app includes detailed info on your heart, liver, thyroid, hormones, metabolism, vitamin and mineral levels, and even environmental toxins. So from disease prevention to treating that annoying brain fog, or simply optimizing your gym game, Superpower is the most comprehensive and advanced system out there. Superpower doesn't just give you a one-time snapshot, though. That's the thing about Superpower. It tracks your results over your lifetime. Each test is another data point, builds on the last, so you can actually see progress year after year instead of just starting over every January. Superpower used to cost $499, but right now it's just $199 for the full experience. That's more affordable than anything else out there. Other testing services charge $500, $1,000, sometimes even more for similar or fewer test results. Know what your numbers are with Superpower.
Make this the year you stop guessing about your health with Superpower. Not only did Superpower reduce the price to just $199, but for a limited time, our listeners get an additional $20 off with code TINFOIL. All right? Head to Superpower, just like it sounds, spelled just like it sounds, .com and use the code TINFOIL at checkout for $20 off membership. After you sign up, they'll ask you how you heard about them. So make sure to mention this podcast to support the show, and we thank them for sponsoring the show. I just want to tell you about my dates real quick, if we could. My schedule: Dallas this weekend, Fort Worth, then Huntington, then shooting my special May 22nd in Austin. Albuquerque, the 1,000th episode, sold out. Joke World in St. Petersburg, Lawrence, Kansas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Skankfest in Austin, and then we might be adding Miami the first week of June. Word War Debate. And then finally, youtube.com/tinfoilhatofficial. That's youtube.com/tinfoilhatofficial. And all right, let's get back to it.
And I just want to say too, real quick, and I say this very frequently, I am a believer in Christ. And I always have been. For people who really know me on a personal level, I mean, you'll know, like, I was raised Christian and Catholic, but primarily Christian, and I'm a believer in Christ, and I'll never shy away from saying that, but I got to be honest, as a human being, some days I don't even know what that means because of all the research that I've done, but it's okay. You don't need to know what it means. That's the whole point of faith. And I had a revelation recently. Somebody was talking shit to me on something that I posted that was like kind of lenient towards like a Christ perspective. And they were just talking shit about, Jesus is a myth and, that whole thing. And I realized that's the most prominent refutation that anti-Christians have, whatever category they are, atheists, whatever anti-Christian person they are, the number one refutation that they can have, the highest refutation they can have is that Jesus is a myth. And I sat there and I realized it doesn't matter if he was a myth, because the whole point is the myth. The whole point of it is the myth. Now, I'm still going to believe that he was a real man and that he did what he said he did, But even if it was all a myth, as an existentialist human being, I'm still okay with that. And I finally accepted that, because honestly, I would wrestle with that as a Christian and also as an existential academician. I'd be like, how can I believe in Christ if I know all this crazy shit? Well, I don't care anymore. I have accepted that even if he is a myth, that's okay, because again, the whole point is the myth. If you are an esotericist, if you are a spiritualist, if you are a truther, a conspiracy theorist, which all basically are in the same category, if you are one of those people, you're going to go down the rabbit holes. You're going to learn about metaphysics. You're going to learn about quantum physics. You're going to learn about as above, so below, and all these different things, right? It's a school that we go through, and you can't really skip the steps, right? We've all gone through the school, and Sam and XG and Johnny, you guys have been a part of the school for us, right? I grew up on listening to you guys, so we all go through the school, learning the basics, and as you go through that school, at one point you're going to learn about Carl Jung, right? You're going to learn about Carl Jung. You're going to learn about the subconscious and the conscious and symbolism and the shadow self and that stuff. So you should already be at that level if you're listening to the show. And if you're not, if you're new, you'll learn about that eventually. So when you learn about that, when you learn about the self, the subconscious, the simulation, the matrix, the symbolism, the archetypes, the archons, it doesn't matter if Jesus is a myth. If that's actually the whole point, because the real battle that we're in is a battle of images, of subliminal messaging, of subconscious matrix archons. So if Jesus was a myth, whoever created the myth didn't create the myth to enslave us. If you pay attention, the myth actually came to liberate us. It does something to your subconscious mind. It unlocks something that frees you from the past of the Anunnaki and frees you from the future of the return of the Anunnaki.
Interesting. Johnny, any thoughts?
It seems to me that anybody who really knows the history wouldn't say that there wasn't someone called Jesus. I mean, even though, I say it every time this comes up, but one of my professors in school was Bart Ehrman. And, he's probably the leading expert in that field of kind of what would you say, demystifying, de-deifying Jesus, and he wouldn't deny that there was someone called Jesus, and even and Ehrman has walked back this idea, because for a long time he thought that Jesus didn't say that he was divine at any point, and that wasn't suggested until much later. But even he's kind of walked that back some. I haven't seen anything that moves me that would suggest there wasn't someone called Jesus. I
buy it. Hook, line, and sinker. I buy all of that. I don't know why, dude. It just makes me.
What's most credible, though? I'm curious, Eddie. What's the most credible refutation of his existence? Let's take it to that essential level. What do people who think that? Because I've just never heard that credibly argued. Not to any standard that would move me. Like I said.
Yeah, no, you're right. A lot of scholars on both sides for Christianity and even against Christianity agree that he was a real guy. The real argument is, was he the son of God? Did he perform miracles? That's the argument. But to answer your question, and I'm still trying to figure this out myself, I think the biggest piece of evidence for his physical existence is the Gospels. That's what they say. It's literally the Gospels. And some of the other writings, like Josephus. Josephus' his story is wild. I was looking into his story. Somebody's got to make a movie on that guy. But Josephus, for example, he was like mocking the Christians. But even he wrote that there was a leader at that time by the name of Jesus who was doing some crazy shit. So, but most people would say, Christians specifically would say that the piece of evidence that we have that it's the Gospels themselves. But
and the Romans documented Jesus as well.
Yeah.
Tacitus.
I believe in. Listen, the only thing I know is this: is I've been on both sides of it. Not that I never believed in Jesus, but I didn't follow his teachings. And I'm doing the best I can. I don't walk on water, everybody. Do not look at me for any kind of like moral authority on anything. I battle demons constantly. That's very important that you understand that. I have vices. I'm fighting them constantly. It's well documented. I make no illusions of that. But I've been on both sides of it. I've been on the side where I just didn't care and I questioned all religion and I thought it was just control mechanisms in terms of like, just like trying to stop people from being their authentic selves. And the authentic self was living in your vices and your material levels and all that stuff. And then over the time through this show, I've discovered that if I go the other way and I just practice basic beliefs and the laws of God and the universe and Jesus, my life is infinitely better. Now, I don't go to the point of purity where I judge everybody who makes mistakes and all that stuff. That's not me. I'll never be that. I've been very, very vocal that this, in particularly sexual Puritans and stuff like you cannot like lifestyles. That's you. I'm not here to tell you gotta love everybody and everything they do. That's not me. But when we start condemning the way people live their life when they're not hurting people, and particularly children, I believe we set up blackmailing schemes, and that's a big problem we have in our society right now. Is that these politicians are all blackmailed into doing anti-humanity shit. So it's like, I believe that the goal of life is to align your free will with God's plan. And what someone decides to do if they're not hurting people, and particularly children, is none of my fucking business. So that might lose people, but it keeps me sane. And if more people did that, we'd have less blackmailed politicians. Now, it's not just the kid stuff, too. It's like people being gay. And like Lindsey Graham can't stop begging for war because he's obviously slurped a bunch of ding-dongs, right? I mean, like, it's pretty fucking obvious. But if we let that guy just be himself, maybe it wouldn't be like that. I just don't understand trying to make the world, save the world and walk in God's grace, and then also at the same time wanting to condemn people to death and hell and misery. That's just me. I'm not right. I'm not.
Well, no, I mean, that's in the example that Jesus, I mean, look at the people he spent time with, the people he reached out to. They was, at the time was, thought that, I mean, those were, you think it's inappropriate now to go and talk to someone who's like a prostitute. I mean, that was for a guy who people thought was their Messiah to go and interact with, you know what I mean? Like, it was, it's hard to describe now in a modern context how radical that is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, these were truly outcasts, like pariahs, lepers. So, I mean, even up to the very last moments of his life, the thief on the cross.
Yeah. So that's just what I want to say. So we got over Moloch. I know you have other things you want to talk about. I find this all very interesting, dude.
Yeah, man. So the main motif of most of my work is that, we've just misunderstood this stuff, and the misunderstandings have led to big just mistakes and unnecessary problems. But there are people in the world that exploit the misunderstandings and exploit us not understanding this stuff, which leads us to today and what's happening today. So in my documentary, the one I just released, I'm going over this great awakening that Gen Z is having to do with Zionism. And they're realizing how pervasive this has been in America for decades. And so if we know a lot of this stuff is founded on fallacies, then we can only assume that the people in power who claim to be of these religions, either one, don't understand it themselves, or two, are just lying to us. And I think for the most part, they actually still believe it. I think they're just as simple as the rest of us. Most of them just simply believe it because they haven't done just the extra effort work to really look at this stuff to understand it. And they're also in a very difficult position as political leaders to fulfill certain agendas. Like Trump, for example. Trump, it's funny, he's like pinned in between both the Jews and the Christians. And sometimes he does something that pisses off one side or pisses off the other side, but he's trying to find a middle ground to appease both of them. And the only way you can appease both of them is through Messianic Zionism. And we have Netanyahu, right? Netanyahu, who's also a political figure who, in my belief, doesn't really adhere to Judaism. But again, he's another figure who's pinned up against his pressures. And in my documentary, I show a clip where he's being pressed or pressured by the famous rabbi. I forget how to pronounce his name, but he just recently passed away.
Chabad, yeah. The head of the Chabad.
Yeah, head of Chabad.
There's a famous video of all of the very well-to-do go me to the point. I think, Johnny, did you play that video one time?
We played both of them. We played the one with Spielberg's
mom.
Yeah, like I'm Steven Spielberg's mother.
Yeah. So it's
Schneerson.
Yeah,
that was his name, Schneerson.
Yeah, you bring up some really good points, and the question I have to you, because right now we're seeing. I think if you have very Zionist, very, very extreme Zionists, very dangerous. But there also seems to be this kind of like atheist.
Yeah.
That happens to be Zionist as well.
That's a funny combo, isn't it?
It's a really funny combo, and they're very fucking dangerous.
It's like the power gay of Tel Aviv or whatever. You know, that guy. I mean, he represents. There's no way he's a religious person. But that guy's a hardcore Zionist.
Hardcore Zionist. Yeah. Sam Harris, Bill Maher, both like swear they're atheists, but somehow.
Well, Bill Maher was raised Catholic. He's not. I mean, his mother, or I think his father was, but he was raised Catholic, Christian.
But he's atheist.
Right. But I'm saying he's not.
Right. Well.
I mean, he doesn't. He says he doesn't claim to be Jewish. But yeah, you're
when
right.
He did, listen, when he did his movie. When he was making fun of all the religions, when he made fun of Judaism, the one thing he picked was the Torah, who was against Israel, which was a very. I go, well, that just destroyed your whole credibility of.
No, he's retarded on that issue for sure.
Yeah, so that's the whole point. And again, like Dana, who's Jewish. Which idiots on the internet think she's my handler. Ask these two, is she my fucking handler?
No. We can't
Johnny
get a hold
would say, yeah, because she says jump, we all jump. But,
but
really,
try to get a hold of his phone.
Yeah, it's like it's like there's no mom, there's dad. There's only dad. And dad lets mom make some calls.
Play a role.
Yeah, right, okay, but daddy puts foot down. That's the end of it.
Yeah, there's no question.
But she's anti-Israel. And even her family, who I very much love and very much respect, have been questioning what's going on over there. I've met with many comedians who are Jewish, and they do not like what Netanyahu's doing. They think
how could you? You know what I mean? Unless you're just true, like if you're bought and sold, I guess you could. And if you're brainwashed, that's it. But that's it. That's
from the moment you take a breath, that's what they've been told.
So I was at the casino, and I was at the casino, and there was a Jewish guy there, and he said he was leaving soon, and I'm like, where are you headed? He was doing really good, so I'm like, why are you going to leave? He's like, I got to go back to Tel Aviv. And I didn't ask him, I was like, so what do you think about Netanyahu? And he instantly said, dude, my kids have to go to war if we go to war. So I expected him to be on it, because he's not living there. I'd be like, yeah, you want them to go to war because it's in Israel. And he literally said, my kids and my family and everybody goes to war. So even people that live there,
yeah, they all have to join it.
Yeah, and I kind of thought he would be kind of up for it, be like, hey, I'm in America. I don't give a what happens over there. No, their families are going to be part of the war.
Yeah, it is the thing you always say. That if they institute the draft, I mean, that in this country that people would take more of an interest, but over there, I mean, it is literally everybody and they still. That's how deep it is. This whatever this thing is that controls them.
It's very crazy
that they're willing to die for it.
And these could be seen as dangerous conversations we're having right now. But I'm just telling you, it's only going to get crazier.
Yeah.
I don't see it stopping.
There's a reason why you have these people like these atheists who are for Israel. And that's what I was kind of going to get into next. There's a very specific reason why. And this is why us Christians or just people in general have to really understand the Jewish perspective. So what I was getting at with Bibi Netanyahu, and honestly, I think that's fucking weird how we call him Bibi. I don't think a grown man should be calling another man Bibi.
No, I respect the shit out of that.
I see it as a way of kind of disrespecting him. I kind of like calling him that because I'm not calling you by your name, bro. You know what I mean? Like BB's, it's more appropriate for his behavior.
And it's easier for spelling. I guarantee you that's why most people did it, because they're like, I can spell BB.
I just think it sounds stupid weird. And he's stupid. So.
I think he's a war criminal. He's finally getting called what he really is, which is a modern day Hitler, being controlled by the exact same people, the Bank of England. I mean, that's just
man. So there's this famous clip of Netanyahu speaking with Schneerson, and Schneerson is like pressing him, like seriously pressing him, like, when are you going to bring Moshiach? When are you going to bring the Messiah? And us Christians, right? We think of the Messiah as like this mythical, etherical figure, right? Who comes from heaven in a different dimension. That is not the Jewish version of it. That is not the Jewish concept of it. The Jewish concept of a Moshiach, a Messiah, is a political figure, an earthly figure. I've seen many videos where rabbis and Jewish leaders laugh at Christians because they say, how can your God be crucified? If he's a God can't die. Damn. Because they actually don't believe in this idea of like of heaven. And they never believed in that. The Judaism never taught about a heaven or even a hell, actually. They don't believe in these etherical realms. To them, Yahweh, the ancient Yahweh, was a physical deity at a point in time. But now, the way they view it, they think God is just this all-encompassing energy that is not going to come down in the form of a human. So that's the contention they have with us, is that their God is not a human being, but their Moshiach, their Messiah, will be a human being, will be a political figure, somebody who will lead them politically here on earth. And actually, they believe that there have been and there will be several messiahs. It's not going to be one messiah. There already have been messiahs for them. And there's going to be more messiahs because they're just political figures. And right now, as I point out in the documentary, many of the leaders right now believe that Donald Trump is a current Moshiach. Like, they actually believe that he's a Moshiach, but it's not the way that we view it. Like, he's Christ, he's Jesus returned. No, he's just a political figure who's very important, who was actually written in the stars astrologically, because a lot of rabbis actually adhere to astrology. So to them, a Moshiach is somebody who lines up with astrology, lines up with prophecy, and lines up politically, who leads Israel further towards the third temple. And Donald Trump is one of those people. And so we have right now a very strange time where a lot of this is coming to a head. And so me as a believer in Christ, I'm looking at all this like, this sucks, man, because I want to believe in Christ, right? I want to believe that there's a God, but at the same time, that process is what leads us here. That process is what leads us to these end time blueprints. And we have no option, as I can see it right now, but to face the end times. There's no way that Judaism, Islam, and Christianity can continue to exist in the way that it does right now. There's no way. There's going to have to come a point where they're all going to have to answer to each other. Whose God is the real God? Whose tradition is the right way? And that's kind of what we're witnessing right now. And the thing that sucks about this as a human, as an existential human being, which I'm I also am, right? I'm a believer in Christ, but I'm also an existential thinker outside of everything. As an existential thinker, it sucks because anytime we talk about peace, anytime we say, man, can't we just all get along? That gets lumped into the end times narrative of human beings trying to reinvent the Tower of Babel with the new age, one world government, one world religion of false peace that's going to bring in the beast system. So there's no winning. Even as a human, you can't advocate for peace because whose peace are we talking about? The peace of the Islamic people, the peace of the Jews, the peace of the Christians, whose peace? Because they can't all be in peace. So there's no peace to be had. So there's only end times narrative or a some complete psychological renovation of the human mind, something. But it's difficult to deal with, and there's no way around it as of right now. It's like we almost have to go through it. And this also gets crazy because then you have the Gnostic perspective, right? It's within each of these Abrahamic faiths, there's a myriad of sectors. Within Christianity, you have Protestantism, Catholicism, Gnosticism, non-denominational. The Gnostic Christians, which were some of the very first Christians, they would say, in today's world, there's no point in saving the world. And as a matter of fact, trying to save the world is an anti-Christian thing. Why do you want to save the world? The world is materialistic. Living is materialistic. This is the realm of the demiurge. So to try and advocate for world peace is to actually be on the side of the demiurge, because the Gnostic perspective would be, let it all end. Let it all burn.
Well, when you having a child, how do you think about that?
Great question, man. My dad was a Catholic. My dad is a Catholic. My mom is a Christian. I love them both dearly, of course, obviously. But something interesting that I picked up about my dad is that he never, not once, forced his perspective on me. Never. All he ever did was ask me, do I want to go to church with him on Sunday? That's all he would ever do. Do you want to go to church with me on Sunday? And sometimes I would go to church with him simply because the Catholic mass was shorter than the Christian one. I'm like, shit, all I got to do is go deal with 1 hour of these weird monotone singing stuff and I can go home. But my dad, my father, he never pushed it on me. To this day, he'll talk to you about it if you want to talk to about it, but he never pushed it on me. All he really did was prepare me how to live a life. I'm here now in the physical body, in the physical realm, so we got to live a life. And so I'm going to be the same way with my son. I'm going to just teach him how to live a life, how to be a person and plan for tomorrow. Because right now, a lot of people are freaking out. I have friends. I have one friend in particular who literally thinks this is the end of the world and is like mega depressed and thinks that his life is going to end because of World War III. And I'm like, bro, you can't live your life like that. You got to live like tomorrow is coming. Everybody says, live like there's no tomorrow. No, that's not feasible. You actually got to live like there is a tomorrow. So that means take care of your health, take care of your finances, take care of your people, plant your seeds and watch them grow figuratively and literally. So I'm going to be the same with my son. I'm going to teach him how to live a life, because the same thing has been always happening. As a researcher, as a historical researcher, I can tell you without a doubt, after looking at the entirety of the 7,000 year span that we've been in, humans have never changed. We've always been the same idiots that we are today. And so if we can teach our children to look out for lies, hypocrisy, and just all the dumb shit, they'll be fine. If they want to believe in a God, if they want to sit down and talk to me about God and what is God, cool. But I'm not going to let him be fooled by our political leaders. I'm just not, because these people are horrendous and do not actually adhere to the religions anyway.
I agree on that. They don't adhere to the religions. They have their own belief system. And as you go up every pyramid, it gets darker and dark. It gets more and more psychotic, darker, and I guess you say more evil, right? I mean, and that's why I always say we all got to kind of like, am I wrong in saying this? Learn to love each other, or is that demiurge shit?
Man, it depends on who you ask, bro.
Well, I'm asking you.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that, dude. Shit, me as Eddie, I'm cool with that. But the truth is, it's just not. It's not feasible for everybody because everybody's got their own shit going on. So I wouldn't say love everybody. I would say respect everybody. Keep a respectful distance from everybody is really what I'm trying to say. You know, we got to be smart. I wouldn't teach my son to love everybody. I'll teach my son to be respectful and respect everybody. But that doesn't mean like, oh, respect the pedophile or respect the murderer. It just, when I say respect everybody, I mean respect that everybody has their own space, and you need to be smart and know when to get away from people and stay away from certain people. That's what I mean by respect everybody. So not love everybody, but respect everybody. If we all actually respected everybody, like, oh, he's a cool guy, let me chop it up. Or, oh shit, that's a fucking maniac, let me get it out of the way. The world could be a better place.
No, I agree with that. That's something I've been thinking a lot. It's like, is peace actually the factory setting? Is it the actual basic belief that humanity has been trying to follow? It goes back again to Matt's episode, Matt LaCroix, right? Where he said they started worshiping war gods, right? That's exactly what we're talking about. There was a change in how we operated, on how the elites influenced us more into war. And you go on Twitter and you listen to people who are never going to go fight this war, that are pro-war. You should throw those motherfuckers on the front line. Anybody that is like, we need this war is important, we got to take Iran out, go fucking do it. You first, then we'll send our kids in. After we've gone through all you guys. You believe in this so much, you go fight the fucking war.
It's like that thing where they're saying to send Trump's son in.
Yes.
I'm like,
oh, he's too tall. Fucking send him in.
That sounds perfect. I thought you had to be a little tall or a little athletic.
Send that fucking Nephilim in. Let him go fucking fight this war that his dad wants. You know? I mean, like, and I think you're right on Trump. Part of me thinks this is all scripted, that Trump has been put in here for a purpose. But I do think there is a part of Trump that does want to be liked and would love to be the peace president. But I think he's just controlled by destiny and blackmail and powerful forces. Like, you know, they're like, oh yeah, Israel was cut out of the peace negotiation. It's like Jared Kushner's there. Israel's right at the table. And this end time stuff is completely and utterly astroturfed. And that was the part that I never realized as a kid. Whenever you'd hear about the end of days are coming. The end prophecy, the end of days prophecies are coming. I always thought this would be like some naturally occurring thing that just through forces of nature would happen.
Like the day after tomorrow type of thing.
Like it just was like a natural progression. But I never, ever imagined it would be...
There will be wars and rumors of wars, all by people who want the prophecy to be fulfilled.
Yes, you know? That it's just some giant production. It's somewhat shocking to me.
The question is whether that counts. You know what I mean? Like, does that count? Oh,
because it's not natural?
But it's
you know what I mean? Like if you could fulfill all the conditions of the prophecy, does
making them happen?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That is weird to me, right? You would think like over time, like all these things happen, God's like, God step in. But it's not going to be like, oh, they're totally orchestrating this. Should I go now? I mean, that seems to be a manipulation, right?
Yeah. Of course.
It just seems, I don't know, man. It's just, again, like this notion that this great entity is going to step in to protect people who kill kids and molest kids and, you know, do unspeakable thing to children like torture. Like that to me is like, okay, what?
Well, yeah, and then in the New Testament, you know, I mean, we all kind of become Israel, like all believers. So if you think of it that way, then it's you get what I'm saying. Then the actual the geography doesn't matter at all.
That's what I'm saying. Because like, isn't it in the Bible those who worship, those who follow the teachings of Jesus is Israel?
That's a way people interpret it that way. Yeah,
it's interesting to me, dude. Great show, dude. Fire show, bro. I mean, and the Zionism shit is like, people are waking up to it all the time. And again, your friends, your girlfriends, your people you work with at work, they may not all subscribe to this. Just like in any religion, just like in Islam, there's Wahhabism, which is the extreme version of it. And I can really get into the invisible hand that's funded that whole thing, right? Or like, I don't know what the version of that would be in Christianity. I mean, I keep hearing about Christian nationalism. I'm like, what is that? Where is that? Where's that? How's that bad? Show it to me. Just show it to me. That's all I'm saying is show it to me. But what Hollywood, what the media has tried to convince you, white supremacy is, what Christian nationalism is in fact Zionism. Every accusation is a confession. And that's my opinion.
Here's that. I just pulled that verse, by the way. This is Matthew 21:43. Therefore, I tell you that the kingdom of God will be taken away from you and given to a people who will produce its fruit.
Ooh.
And that's kind of the big one as far as the privilege of.
So which way does that go?
Well, it just it means people, if you interpret it the way, you know, the what do they call them? The Paulines interpret it, that means that. I'll read it again. Therefore, I will tell you that the kingdom of God will be taken away from you and given to a people who will produce its fruit. And, I mean, you have to take that in the context of what Matthew.
Yeah, he's taking it away from the Jews, is what he's saying.
Right. Yeah.
He's taking it away from the Jews and giving it to us. It was promised to us 3,000 years ago, not you guys.
Hey, man, you know, Esoteric Eddie, I gotta tell you something. I love you, buddy. I love talking to you. It's like a really great time. Are you an electrician? What do you do?
I'm a plumber.
I love that, dude.
Nice.
I just love that.
You're living
dude.
in the South Park future too, where people with
you're going to be
skills,
the rich one out of us. You're going to be driving spaceships because people need you to fix something. But it's like, life, what a blessing that is, that like in this time that, you know, a guy who does a wonderful blue collar job could do such deep dives and learn so much and be able to
reach people
people. Like that to me is like the American dream.
I went on like a weird YouTube rabbit hole of this guy that does like woodcraft, and I'm talking like sculptures, and I'm mad that I can't do nothing with my hands that I can literally give to someone like, hey mom, I made this.
Yeah.
And this guy does some amazing work. I sat there for hours just watching that. He's gonna make $10,000 sculptures of like oak wood. And I sat there and I was like, there's nothing with my hand that I can give.
One of my best friends growing up, Sean Burns, the Burns brothers, we grew up together in Cortland. And he's amazing at finding like some like old beaten up junk or antique and just redoing it and making it.
Nice.
And I go, bro, do a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Just shoot you doing that. You could, people watch a video and then buy it from you.
Finding it.
And I've been just trying to get him into that shit, dude, because he's like a master at that.
It's interesting though, so many of those people who do that kind of thing just don't care about the, you know, notoriety.
See, but here's the thing, because I guarantee you the guy I watched, he doesn't edit that shit. He just records it and gives it to some guy that does software. Yeah, because this guy literally all he does is work with his hands. There's no way he's on Adobe doing the shit me and Johnny do with the
Well, then
sounds
you
full of
find
dust.
somebody, you give them a piece of the edit.
Yeah.
But
Because
the
the
point,
edit takes just as long as the
but you
actual
could
thing.
just do the like time lapse
The
of
time
it.
lapse, yeah.
Would be amazing. Just
Yeah, like there's that guy that just builds shit in the jungle, you know? Just like, hey,
Oh, yeah.
I built an underground civilization.
Yeah, I
in
love that
yeah.
shit, dude. Like we were watching that guy who's just turned that ghost town into
it's
like
that's so what's that place called?
men just love
Cerro
to
Gordo.
watch men work. Like
Cerro
we
Gordo.
could watch that for fucking
It's
ever.
wonderful.
You know what's even better? I follow some chick that does welding.
Yeah.
She's hot and she's an all right welder. I don't know much about
Yeah,
welding.
nobody cares. We're
Yeah,
grading on a curve
But that's
here.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're literally
And her curves are what we're grading on.
Yeah, there's this thing on Instagram now. It's like women with TNA are doing cooking shows like on Instagram, and all the comments are just like, turn around, you know. It's like, we don't care. We're not here for the pizza, bro. It's just so our girlfriends are okay with us following you.
It's very funny. Like as evolved as we think we are. We're just monkeys who love tits.
Yes. Yeah, and the girl, it was so funny. The girl, they call her like Pizza Girl or something.
Oh, she's famous.
Yeah, and she's complaining about like people calling and asking to talk to her and stuff. And I'm like, what are you literally, you couldn't have anything tighter and your ass is sticking out the whole time you do these. And you're complaining about the attention of guys?
Yeah,
like, really?
The pizza,
Shut up.
the pizza oven's there, so she goes in.
You think you're great at pizza? Nobody else can just stick a pizza in an oven? You bimbo?
But it's also like you see female, and we won't keep you much longer, Eddie. But it's like you see female comics do that. They go up there and they just talk sex the whole time, and then guys just want to hook up, and they get so angry. They're just jokes. I go, that's not how life works.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm excommunicated everywhere because everyone. I walk through the Comedy Store and people freeze, trying not to make eye contact with me. Happens all the time. They're just
so
like,
funny.
I'm like I'm death walking through the hallway.
Like you're contagious. Your ideas are contagious. He might speak some common
If you
sense.
listen to me, I might become open-minded and understand how the world works.
What if I hear his common sense?
I can name two people that do that. I'm not going to name them, but they freeze up. They don't want to look at me, and then they just waddle off with their buttholes clenched, like just trying to get out of the room with
Imagine
the
being a
radiation.
comedian with that.
I wish we could
attitude.
make that a skit where you're at the store and all these kids, and then they go up on stage and start saying the N-word just because they walked by you.
That'd be hilarious. I know my work here would be done if everyone's saying the M-word in their act. I'd feel so good. Well, Esoteric Eddie, absolutely great episode. Great job. One more time, tell them where they could find you.
Yeah, man. Real quick, I just want to end on this note. My main message here, I came back here to hopefully do my job right this time. And I just
You
want to
did it
say
right. I think about
thank
the
you.
Lucifer thing all the time. All the time I think about that. All the time. About how they took that guy, the prophet, or the Saint Lucifer, and demonized it. Like, I think about that all the time. It's very interesting to me. And again, the thing is that people need to understand, I am not attacking what your beliefs is. I support your belief system. If it makes you happy and helps you be a good person, I support. I'm just interested in conversation. That's really what it is. I want to know everything that I can know. And then based on that, what pieces of the puzzle fit. That's all I'm saying. So, you're doing great, dude. I wouldn't look at what I said in Daniel Jones as like you did a failure of a job. I think you did great. And I think this I will take this to other people going, my friend Esoteric Eddie says that Moloch didn't exist. That is the term for sacrifice.
Appreciate that. I'm partly fucking around. I was actually watching that like stoked, like, yeah, but then part of me was like, damn it, I got to go back and like do some more work. But my main message really is, and this is how I want to end this. My main message is, number one, don't take anything for face value, especially when it comes to all this stuff.
I agree.
And don't let the institutions and the dogmas tell you what to believe. Do the research, really dig into it. And at the very least, at the very least, don't take what the institutions and the dogmas are giving you for face value. Not that they're always deliberately trying to deceive you, but most of the time they are just passing along information that they never themselves even checked. And when we can do this on a mass scale, we can avoid end times narrative, this catastrophe, because this end times narrative catastrophe that we're facing right now only exists because of this lineage of dogma that has all come from misunderstanding and simple human psychological behavior. And it's only going to be a few small percentage of us anyway, who are going to be able to really do that. But I'm just saying that's my main message. My main message is be a human first. If I had to put it simple, be a human first. And the human who you are in your soul when you came here through your mom. And then let the world present to you what it thinks is the truth. And let that soul inside of you that came from God, if there is one, guide you.
I love
that's my main message. And so you can find me pretty much TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Esoteric Eddie, YouTube, Esoteric Eddie TV. I love how that's just like how everything ends. It's just like the truth about everything. Anyways, follow me on YouTube.
Yeah, dude. You did great, buddy. I have a lot of love and respect for you. It's good to see you back in the game. Congratulations on the kid. That's amazing. I tell people it's a love you don't even understand. I got my dog. I love my dog. It's not even close. It's just, it's not even, you'll never understand it. Words cannot explain it. You'll just, once you see that baby for the first time, it is like something you'll never understand. And you gotten that joy, and it's a blessing. And I'm super happy for you. And we thank you for coming on, buddy. We appreciate it, dude. Thanks. All right, let's break down.
Love you guys.
Anytime, buddy. Let's break down the episode. All right, guys, what do you guys think of our man, the myth, the legend, Esoteric Eddie?
Would you say he's repping the Mexican?
Did he make you proud as a Mexican?
I did. We almost talked only in Spanish, but since you guys were here, we had to do it in English.
Yeah, how come he can be a plumber and you
how's your
you can't
Spanish,
do any of
actually?
that?
My Spanish is pretty good, actually.
He's fire. He's from Mexico.
No, but I mean, how does it compare to your English?
Oh, I mean, that's...
But neither of them are great, I would say.
He's a master.
Yeah,
He's a jack of all trades when it comes.
I was just thinking, what if actually he's like a scholar in Spanish?
No,
You know, we just don't.
I wish, but no, no.
Well, ask him. I've asked him, what does he dream in? He says English.
Yeah, I dream in English.
You dream in English, so
He's so whitewashed.
Yeah, I'm snowboarding, dude. It doesn't get wider than that.
Snowboarding, dude.
I dream in ancient Sumerian, so
and tablets.
yes, cuneiform, yeah.
Dude, I still don't get how they can figure out what that says.
That's the thing. Like, how much of that is accurate?
Well,
I mean, that's a different show.
It's fascinating.
We're talking about Esoteric Eddie.
Them cracking, cracking languages.
It must be
and stuff.
patterns.
Yeah, they do.
And
they
based
find
on things later on,
things that they
that
know
are similar to that.
That's what they do. Yeah, that's how they do it. And there are some that haven't been deciphered yet. Like there's one ancient language, I can't remember what it's called, that they let me see. Undeciphered ancient language. There's one that they've been trying to crack for years. Here we go. Undeciphered writing systems. There's something called Indus script, Linear A, Proto-Elamite. These are ancient scripts that have yet to be decoded. There are a number of them.
There's some book written by a guy that has, like, we talked about in Conspiracy Social Club, where it's just like, he wrote this book with all these drawings in it, and no one can decipher what he was writing in there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And they're just racking their heads trying to figure out. And I just think it was a crazy person who's just like, blah, 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 blah.
Well, no, but I think they've established that it is like internally coherent. You see repetitions that make you think that it's
I
a
want to write
language.
something so deep no one knows what I'm talking about. That'd be so awesome.
There's the Olmec and Epi-Olmec script. That's early Mesoamerican writing, often considered to be a precursor to Mayan. They haven't deciphered that one. There's the Easter Island glyphs. Easter Island, what they wrote on Easter. Nobody knows what that is. Isn't that fascinating? That just the expanse of history is I think if you saw it It's just impossible to get your head around how ancient humanity is.
I agree, dude. It's like how long, like, and again, like I know we're getting into Esoteric Eddie, but kind of going back to the last episode as well. It's just like, you know, we talked about Bill Maher. Now he's like, this shows up at all these different places, and I'm like, well, to me that tells me that maybe the timeline is different.
It's a feature, not a
like
bug.
they're trying to tell you we live like, oh, the Earth is only. Maybe the religious people are trying to tell you Earth is only 10,000 years old or whatever, right? Maybe we're way older than that. Way older. And both sides are kind of like, no. Because like even the people who are into dinosaurs, they're like, they're from hundreds of millions of years ago. You're like, I don't know if it's that. It could be, but it's definitely more than 6.
Yeah.
I think it's like at least 100,000. And who knows how deep it goes. And I wish they would have kept digging. Anyways, back to Esoteric Eddie. These are complex conversations, man. And when you start talking about Jesus, we're all very sensitive. You know, my Lord and Savior, your uncle, right? Is named Jesus, right? So it's like, it's a very sensitive subject to us. But I will always have the conversations, and I hope people don't get mad that we have these conversations. I don't think you do, because you wouldn't be with us this long if you were. But I think these are interesting conversations. And, you know, I do believe in Jesus. I believe he existed. I believe he was very special, you know. And I think he was sent down to teach us how to thrive in this energy field. And you know, I really believe in Korean Jesus, who just went deep into space and nobody saw.
That was the best, dude.
I'm Broken Sim.
Yeah, I'm Broken Sim. They had this Korean Easter festival thing, and they had Jesus on a crane, and he ascended and ascended and ascended.
Was this after Chinese Jesus?
There wasn't
Chinese Jesus on the last episode. There was a tomb that the guy got buried in China.
No,
we were all here on
I
this
have no
episode.
idea what you're talking about.
The guy, the Asian Jesus that told Jesus to get down, and he went up there and died.
His brother?
His brother?
Oh, yeah.
I was saying, is this another Korean Jesus? Another Chinese Jesus?
I'm dying. We just put the episode on. I'm dying to hear the reaction to that episode.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, Jesus faked it, but Netanyahu's trying to save us. It's like, oh, God.
Might be time to do some mushrooms.
Sam, why didn't you push back? Because the guy's autistic, okay? That's why, like, you can't really, I'm going to say it. Why can't I say it? My daughter's autistic. The guy's autistic.
Which is fun.
What do you want me to say? What, am I going to get an argument with an aughts?
Yeah, what do you?
What would have gotten out of that?
It's also just not the, as you've said many
Not
times,
the
just
show.
not the show. Yeah.
You know, I pushed back on Stu Peters because I know I can with him, and he can engage in that stuff. You got to pick and choose, but mostly on the show, I like people to talk freely. That's kind of how I operate, you know, and that's the show. If you go to samtripoli.com, check out my dates.
It was also the end of the show. If it had come at the very beginning, he had just launched into like Netanyahu has a plan, you know?
Yeah,
then,
that would have been like, dude, I'm not feeling good. Wrap it up. I can't do
well,
that.
no, but you might have had more time to discuss, like, okay, let's talk about that. You know what I mean? But as it was just like, okay, all right, dude.
All right, dude.
Sure.
You just took everything you said and just set it on fire. Listen, I'm going to be in Dallas this week, Fort Worth, Huntington Beach.
Come on.
Huntington Beach.
Huntington Beach.
What is going on?
Hunt in the beach. Hunt at the beach.
Come on.
Huntington
Okay,
Beach.
Huntington Beach. Then I'm going to be shooting my special May 22nd. Grab your tickets now. 2 shows. Albuquerque, the 1,000 episodes sold out. Joke World, so excited to be there. Then I'm going to be in Lawrence, Kansas. Then I'm going to be in Tulsa. Then I'm going to be in New Orleans for Skank Fest. Then I'm going to be in Austin. And Miami looks like it's starting to happen. Ooh. So we're setting it all up. Premium content. There's no better place on the internet to get premium content than Sam Tripoli. If you love conspiracy content, I talk to the best in the biz. We do great shows. Bang, bang, pow. Cash Daddies, talk about Johnny.
Yeah, Howie has been trying to help people find their way through this
Helping me, helping you.
volatile economy. And as I always say, there's a great community of people there. Our friend Isaac Weissop is a member, and we're all just sharing ideas and
sharing
trying
love
to
ideas, loving
secure our
each other.
financial futures.
I mean, it's just a great place to go. Check it out. If you love trying to make money, you'll check it out. Go down, Cast Twins. I'll have more info for you. T-shirts someday. Shut up, Johnny. T-shirts. Okay. Elongated skulls. Local celebrity is back. The original tinfoil hat. I forget who made that, and I'm so thankful because it's my favorite logo of all time. I get my news from Sam Tripoli. The original fucking Operation Clockwork Orange. I love that yellow baby Jesus. Look at that. Look at that. That's Eddie. I love that shirt.
That's a shirt for like if you're wanting to cycle at night. You know.
Yeah, that's a great shirt.
You can't be missed in that construction work. You want to do some. You want to volunteer, like picking up trash on the roadside.
You know, once upon a time in this flat Earth, fire shirt, go down. You know what shirt I'm going to bring back? Shape-shifting Jesus.
Oh yeah.
We need that one. Sam's right. A whole bunch of shirts for you. Great way to support the show. Go back. What else we got? Buy gold and silver, guys. I'm telling you, get in and now because it's going to keep going up. Alkyl hydrogen brown gas. Harley Ray. Energize chemical-free body. I took it today. I love it. Joel Staley. EMF rocks. If you want to block that dirty electricity, I'm telling you. Prometheus. Brain Supreme.
Off. I'm off this week.
Okay. And then Nuke Social. Ooh. If you want to go to decentralized, only the bangers bang there. 2 people on there right now, but you get all my social media there. Just go check it out all in one place. Anything else?
Check out my podcast, Extreme Marxist Spy. I do vlogs, snowboarding vlogs, all that.
Broken Sim is a thing that exists. It's a podcast. Go check that out at Johnny Woodard.
Check out Doom Scrolling. Check out Punch Drunk. Check out Union Than Wanted.
Cash Broken Sim.
Broken Sim. Tinfoil Hat. You name it. Word War Debate is fire. We have hopefully by the time you hear this, we'll know when the first debate is happening in the Contender series. And then finally, youtube.com/tinfoil hat official. That's youtube.com/tinfoil hat official, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right. Anything else, guys?
Spencer Pratt went on Rogan. I just
saw
shit.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Did you make that? I mean,
no, he told me he was doing that.
Yeah, he told us when he was here that he was scheduled.
What do you think? I mean, think he has a chance?
I hope so. He should.
I think he has a chance.
I mean, I see from all the shelter people now, they're like, you can't vote for any of the Karen Bass or the other lady. You're seeing more and more people are just waking up to the fact that this whole state is corrupt. You see that with Swalwell now.
Swalwell, I mean, like, he's hot garbage. I find myself defending hot garbage.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it?
And it's just like it was the most obvious political hit by the local yokels.
Sorry, but they eat their own. Let them eat their own. I'm not going to defend them.
No, I hate them, but it's like, and now all of a sudden, everywhere now, every chick is accusing everybody of something.
The most basic looking bitches that he was into, by the way. I sent you, though. They're all horse face, like liberal looking soy eating.
It's like, it's a great Dave Chappelle said. It's not the best. It's what's the best option.
What is that? Explain
at the time.
Oh, the women that he was into, or just
it's like who's available. It's like why does Bill Clinton get a red heifer? You know, because that's what was available.
Yeah, he doesn't seem
Imagine being like Monica Perez is great. Monica Lewinsky and being like, okay, and then I was like, okay, what do we need you to do? Is you got to go in there and you got to suck his dick, okay?
What if he wants to put a cigar in my pussy?
Whatever it takes, do it for Israel, okay? If he wants to put a fist in places, he wants to put a cigar, if he wants to smoke a bong out of your butthole, just do it, okay?
I will give him cigars.
I
get many free cigars.
I will be there that day. I will give him the cigar. It will be a kosher cigar. It will be totally fine, and you will be
That was
good.
some of his bribe, that Netanyahu got were cigars. That was one of the big things they were investigating, were the cigar bribes that he was... the gifts, the illegal gifts that they were investigating. He's big into these cohibas or whatever.
This fits great in Monica Lewinsky's butthole. Why'd you say that? I just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, All right, enjoy the highlights.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
You brought up Netanyahu, by the way. Did you see this clip of him basically where it sounds like our entire military reports to him? Have you seen this? It's just crazy what they let this guy get away with.
I spoke yesterday with Vice President J.D. Vance. He called me from his plane on the way back from Washington. He reported to me in detail, as the people of this administration do every day, on the development of the negotiations. In this case, the explosion in the negotiations, the explosion came from the American side, which was not willing to tolerate the blatant violation of the agreement to enter negotiations by Iran. Essentially,
what are we doing? What are we doing?
Immediately opened the crossings. They didn't do that. The Americans were not willing to accept it.
The Americans weren't willing to accept.
He's careful to say that, isn't he? Yeah, and I wonder why Iran didn't meet the terms of the agreement. Could it be because they just immediately started bombing the shit out of Lebanon and Iran, like right after that?
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. They're just moving forward with it, and everyone's against it. Everyone. There's nobody who wants this war except for boomers and retarded Zionists.
But not even the like mild retard. Like you have to be severely demented on like the most profound retardation.
And you must also have a no fear of being called in to fight this war. Everyone who has no chance of going to fight this war is totally pro-war.
Yes, absolutely. No, you're completely.
Now, Johnny, we still had this discussion on whether he's alive or not. I'm just going to say one thing. We've never seen him with his wife lately. He was always with his wife.
Would you want?
We've never seen him with. I mean that girl. I mean, like looks like a gremlin that just went swimming.
She looks like the leprechaun from the Leprechaun movies, like the she leprechaun.
Yeah, 100%. Just horrifying. Not attractive. She's like, everyone hates us. I'm like, yeah, because you're married to a war criminal. Everyone's calling him universally the new Hitler.
Have you seen that? I think we played it on here.
New Hitler, same as old Hitler.
New Hitler, same as old Hitler. Have you heard that crazy recording of her on the phone just yelling? I think we played it on here. It's so funny, dude, listening to what an insane person she is. Check this out.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you know, she's probably crazier than he is. That's why she stayed with him. Such a hard life.
This lively techno soundtrack to this clip of her screaming.
Yeah, I mean, dude. I mean, imagine everything you do is like, oh, it's because they hate me. It's like whenever you hear a comedian say that, they're like, oh, they just hate my success. That's a sign of a psychopath, crazy person.
Also screaming about your credentials. She's like, I got a BA, an MA. You can hear her like smacking her hand on the phone.
Oh,
psychology.
My God. Yeah, I mean, we're just in a wild time, dude. It's a wild time. I don't know how it ends.
Well, Trump had this brilliant idea. He's like, okay, they're going to blockade the strait, close the strait. So we're going to blockade their blockade. That's his big idea now. That's what he's doing. So they have the strait closed, and then outside like of the strait, we're going to close that down. So
yeah,
it's like,
so they can't blockade anybody because they've already blockaded somebody.
Yeah, it's like we built a blockade outside of their blockade.
Unbelievable.
I mean, what's the? I mean, it's kind of brilliant, really.
Yeah. I mean, Iran has to go. Thanks. I mean, now we don't have to do any dirty work.
Yeah, but I mean, now
you're going to get all the shit for the blockade.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they said. I think the statement was that we will look back on the days of $4 gasoline with nostalgia pretty soon. And I'm like, it's LA, dude. We're already looking back on the days of.
Dude, I'm so old. I remember 99-cent gas. That's how old I am. And none of it has to happen. It's just like it's just people fighting over dumb shit. It's all sorcery, you freaking idiots. Not the people listening here, they get it. But
no, the people
all these other idiots, it's all sorcery. It's all sorcery.
The people here are tragically hip.
They are so hip. The comment section is so freaking hip.
Little Canadian reference there. It's a classic.
Dude, this person has not $3.99. That's so funny. It just looks like it's cheaper because it's $3.99. You're like, you're paying $4 for gas.
Yeah, well, who do you think you're fooling?
Who do you think you're fooling? I mean, just crazy ass times, dude.
What do you, if you had to wager on how this ends, what would you say? Would you say that it gets much worse, that it kind of peters out?
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
And talking about some hater ass shit, dog. We went a little viral. There's this fucking guy named the Fit Flat Earther. And this fool was talking shit on Tripoli, on Rogan, on Candace, on Alex Jones. He put us all in the same category that we're all fucking controlled opposition, psyops. We went pretty big. Like, the video got its views, and then Sam reposted, so then it got its views, and then I reposted on the tinfoil hat page, and then it got its motherfucking views. So I'm gonna play it, but it's just nuts because this fool's a fucking psycho, bro. He's out here saying that Sam is Francis Bacon. Yeah, I think I said that right. Yeah, it's some fucking guy from like the 1800s or like back in the fucking days. Like some, I'm gonna play the fucking clip. It's just nuts because there's some hater ass fools out there, including fucking Ezone, because I saw you reposted this shit, dog. I saw you, homie. I can't pull up the fucking receipts, dog. I saw you on Instagram fucking reposting this dumbass talking shit on Tripoli and us. But check this video out though. This fool's, he's called the Fit Flat Earther. He's that guy who always says, oh, so-and-so, they're reincarnated. Like The Rock is so-and-so from the 1950s, the same guy that used to work out. Look at them. And then he puts their faces together, and then he does like side-by-sides. And then it's close, but it's like you're so reaching, and you make all conspiracy theorists look bad, homie. So I'm going to play this video. It's called the Fit Flat Earther, bro. And he's just like, ah. And then, like I said, fuck you, Ezone, for liking it too, dog. Well, I'm going to play the whole thing. He's reaching, obviously.
You're not still listening to the Joe Rogan Experience thinking you're getting truth, right? Or Sam Tripoli and his tinfoil hat podcast, or maybe even Candace Owens, or were you a fan of Alex Jones and InfoWars and you thought he was telling you the truth? Well, I'm sorry to be the one that breaks it to you, my friends, but they're all gatekeepers. And they're much more than gatekeepers, if I'm being honest. You see, at first, I thought they were just all a bunch of Freemasons, kind of like Candace says here.
I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA.
Excuse me? Baking powder? Can we hear that one more time?
I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA.
And this guy, Joe Rogan, with the nice all-seeing eye in his logo, why don't we hear what he has to say?
I'll tell the government right now, tell you right now if you're listening, NSA, CIA, I'm available, okay? If you show me all the real wreckage, I swear to God, I will make fun of that crap to the end of time. I'll make up stories. I'll lie to my mother.
And did you hear me when I...
All right. So I actually know where that clip is from. He had a show on the Sci-Fi Network where it was debunking myths or debunking conspiracies. And he was obviously fucking acting or playing a part where he's saying on the show, FBI, CIA, if you show me the aliens, I'm willing to fucking compromise and play the part. But unless he's got shown the aliens, I think that's all bullshit. But that's from a clip that he did on Joe Rogan Questions Everything. That was the name of the show. You guys can look it up. This is a great show. This is back like before COVID. Like, I think I had just started doing Tinfoil Hat when this show came out. So it was like perfect fucking timing. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm riding the wave. But look, I'm gonna keep playing this shit, and this is the shit he does, dog. He'll literally find like a scar and then find someone with the same scar in the same place, and he'll just do this. Look, they're reincarnated. Check this shit out. It's just nuts. It's so stupid. He's reaching and he gets his views. So do your thing, I guess, my dude. But
said I used to think they were just secret society members, Freemasons.
Aleister Crowley, if you guys don't know who he is, that fool's nuts, bro. And he's saying it's Joe Rogan.
Well, I know better than that now. And I've done many videos exposing that and exposing how they're not even who they claim to be. Not at all. Like how Joe Rogan looks suspiciously like the most wicked man to ever live, Aleister Crowley, and has the exact same nose and the exact same facial symmetry and the exact same scar right in their cheek. But it's not just Joe or Candace.
No mames. What the fuck? Like, that's like the smallest imperfection in someone's skin, and this will say that makes him Aleister Crowley. You're bald, you got a fucking scar on your left cheek, you're Aleister Crowley. Done. Not arguing about it. You're done.
No, it's Sam Tripoli, or should I?
Oh, this gets even fucking better. Now he goes, like I told you guys, this fool thinks Sam's fucking Francis Bacon. Me and Sam, we always talk about this shit in the studio. He gets mad when we call him Francis. If you guys want to fucking piss off Sam, just fucking be like, "What's up, Francis?" He doesn't get mad, but he just looks at you like side-eyed. But it's fucking nuts, dude. Sam Tripoli. Like, dude, this fool like reaches as far as you can motherfucking reach. Dog.
A AAA tinfoil podcast as well. You know, this guy, Sam Tripoli, he wears an upside-down Los Angeles hat. An upside-down Los Angeles hat. What could that symbolize? Maybe the city of angels, the angels, Los Angeles, and it upside down would make it seem like it's falling, like he's representing falling angels. And speaking of Freemasonry.
See, but I gotta give it to him. That's fucking pretty clever. Obviously, Sam's not wearing this fucking upside down LA hat because of the fucking fallen angels of LA or any of that conspiracy shit. I'm pretty sure Sam got a giggle out of this shit. So it's not like, I mean, he's making some comparison. He reminds me of Larry Bishop Gators, number one Christian podcast in the world. We used to have this guy on. This guy was nuts. Like, if you're like an old school tinfoil hat person, like, I'll come back to like, if you're an old school tinfoil hat person, let everybody in there know who Larry Bishop Gators is. He broke our fucking minds at one point. This fool came in hot. He had a fucking Kobe Bryant conspiracy.
Oh my God! That makes sense.
That's all I heard for fucking an hour when Bishop Larry Gators was on. But then he went and talked shit like everybody else, and he got fucking no more. But
oh my God! That makes sense.
But yeah, dude, Bishop Larry Gators was nuts, and he was always like reaching, he was always connecting these dots, and he's always made it fucking seem like this shit that this guy did right now with the upside down backwards hat, fallen angels, is just, and then that's what gets people. He's like, he might be onto something.
Falling, like he's representing falling angels. And speaking of Freemasonry, have you ever heard of Francis Bacon? You know, Francis Bacon, one of the founding fathers of Freemasonry. And well, he looks suspiciously like Sam Tripoli. And if you're just listening to this, well, right now I'm showing how they have the exact same curvature and nose and the exact same facial beard, the exact same face. It's him. They always tell us, Sir Francis Bacon, considered by esoteric historians to be the concealed designer of Freemasonry. And what was his name again? Francis Bacon. Do you know what's a high quality type of bacon? AAA bacon. AAA, kind of like triple. And don't even get me started on Mr. Bill Hicks. I mean, Alex Jones of InfoWars here. If you don't know that Alex Jones used to be comedian Bill Hicks, well then, my friends, you have a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, I cut the video off because he starts going deep on like Alex Jones and shit, which I love Alex Jones. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, everybody's beefing with Trump, dog. I mean, everybody, the Pope, Alex Jones, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. Bro, it's fucking nuts out there in the little conspiracy fucking political world. It's crazy, bro. Like, I got a video. It's crazy because I do got a video of fucking Alex Jones basically warning Donald Trump to leave him alone, which is, dude, I thought they were homies. Like, if you watched the 2018 election, Alex Jones, Donald Trump, homies. Candace Owens, fucking Donald Trump, homies. Everyone's homies with this fool. And now, I mean, he did fuck up. I mean, who the fuck? Dude, gas is almost $7. We're about to go to war with Iran. He invaded fucking Venezuela. How you invading Venezuela for oil, but then we paying $7 for gas? Makes no motherfucking sense. Can someone explain this shit to me? Makes no motherfucking sense. But it's nuts, dog. I don't know if you've been keeping up. I don't know. I mean, you guys are stoners. Some of you guys keep up. Some of the swarm keeps up. But Tucker Carlson basically called this fool the devil. And then Trump went on True Social, and then he just started talking shit on Alex Jones, Candace Owens, called them idiots, called them low IQ people. Just their family knows. Like, I'm going to play this video. I'm going to play a little bit of it. It's a little bit of a long video. But it's a whole shit that I'd never put it on my bingo card. Dude, you could have told me, yo, Alex Jones, Trump beefing with Candace, with Tucker? No way. I mean, dude. Like, dude, and then not to mention, and then beefing with the Pope, and then I thought I was going to save this for later, but then this fool fucking out here representing as he's Jesus, and then saying he tried to be a doctor. It's going to get crazier as the year goes on, but I'm going to play this crazy little video about fucking just the shit talking.
If you think I've been coming after you, if you think that I'm trying to get clicks by attacking you so the Democrats that don't buy anything from me and don't like me want to put me in jail, if you think I've been on your ass, say one more thing. One more thing out of your mouth. And Laura Loomer, send him this, okay? One more thing. When I've gone through hell back in your ass because you were the lesser of two evils, then I'm going to show you how the cow ate the cabbage. Do one more thing. You should be kissing my ass. But instead, you shit all over me and rub it in. Okay. I'm a Christian, but I ain't Christ-like, okay? And I hate the Democrats, I hate the left, I hate the WF, I hate the globalists so much that I've sat here and put up with crap, you not defending me, you letting Todd Blanche kill the investigations of what the DOJ and CIA did to me and my family, and I just said, high road, don't really talk about it, I'll take it for the greater good. But there's only so far that I can take it. Go ahead, say one more thing about me. Go ahead and attack me one more time. And you'll find out.
Bro, this is crazy. Like, it's just crazy how everyone, except for Ezone's still out there. Let's go, Trump. Ezone's killing. And dude, and what's crazy, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the UFC this weekend, which is fucking nuts too. This fool's literally, we're in mid-war, and this fool wants to go to the UFC event. Like, I'm surprised this fool wasn't at fucking Coachella, dog. I'm surprised what after the fucking UFC event, this fool didn't go to fucking Coachella and close out for Karol G, dog. I'm surprised. I'm literally, now that I think about it, I'm surprised this fool didn't show up at fucking Coachella, dog. Helicoptered in, helicoptered in real fast, dog. Made an appearance for right between Karol G, dog. Yeah, I don't know, dog. But if you guys saw the UFC, this fool was there. And this fool said some gay shit, dog. This was a Chili clip, because, I mean, me and Chili, like I said, me and Chili were going to podcast, so we had a bunch of fucking clips here and there, and I stole some of these from her. But Chili was like, dude, that's so gay, dog. And she fucking loves Trump, too, or she did. I don't even know if she did, to be honest with you. But I remember she sent me this thing, and she was like, that's so gay. And I don't know if you guys saw, but at the UFC event, one of the UFC fighters jumped over the cage, and he went to go, like, thank Trump. Which they usually do. You know, like, Rex, what the fuck you talking about? Who gives a fuck? But it was just fucking weird, bro. Like, some weird shit. Like just some weird shit, bro. Like, I'm going to play it, and it's just like, a ver, mira.
Thank you for doing what you're doing. You're a beautiful guy. Great fighter. Thank you. Put me some more than you win this fight. I'll give you a hundred. You look so good. You're too good looking to be a fighter. You are some fighter. Thank you, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So good. You're too good looking to be a fighter. You are. I'll give you a hundred. You look so good. You're too good looking to be a fighter. You are some fighter.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on there, dog. Chili made shit. I didn't even think about it like that. But you guys fucking know Chili. Chili sent me that shit, and I was like, oh, whatever. I mean, he's giving the guy props. I mean, this fool is a fucking yoked ass animal. But I would never say that shit where you're too good to fucking fight. No, you're a man. Get in the fucking cage. You want to get in the cage? You want putazos? Get putazos. Oh, no, that's not the one I was trying to play. Fuck! Stop fire. Stop playing the fucking crickets. But yeah, that was a fucking Chili post. That's all I was thinking about. I was like, fuck, dog. Oh, dude. But since I did bring up Coachella, and I don't know why fucking Trump didn't helicoptered in right after fucking the Karol G fucking performance. I mean, he's literally... oh, dude, I don't have the video, which is funny because I think Chili was the one who sent me this video. Man, maybe I can find it. I'll send it to myself right now. Dude, so...
experience
whatever.
Thinking you're getting truth, right?
What the hell? So there was this video that Chili sent me of him coming out at UFC like 200 or something like that, or 220. And then the one of him coming out today, you can tell the huge difference. The crowd's a whole different fucking crowd, dog. On the other one, people were cheering, like just giving him all the props and shit for winning the election. I think that's the one she sent me right before right after winning the election. And then this one, you hear boos and then you hear the music very fucking leveled up. Like all you hear is music. So I don't know if the UFC heard the booing and they amped the volume up or whatever the fuck you call that shit. But it was a different type of fucking coming out. I mean, dog, gas is $7, bro. Gas is $7. The files ain't out. The Epstein files ain't out. You're at the UFC fucking event. Like, it's just not looking good, bro. I keep saying we live in a fucking movie, dog. That movie, Idiocracy or whatever. If they literally had a part where the president's at a fucking event while we're at war, you'd be like, oh, fuck, that shit's fucking funny, dog. We're at war. We're World War III and the president's at the fucking UFC event. Ah, nuts, bro. Nuts. Fucking nuts. What's funny is everybody thought I went to Coachella. I fucking didn't go to Coachella. That was just old ass pictures of me from the fucking years before. It's different. I'm not even trying to sound like that guy, but I went like 10 years ago, and it's definitely, the prices are fucking nuts. I heard about all the scamming. I know you guys heard about all the Airbnb scammings going on. That sounds like a scam on its own, dog. Like the rundown is, I guess you book your flight. I mean, you book your Airbnb for what? Say $1,000 for 3-4 nights. And then you're stoked, you and your homies are stoked, everyone's happy with the price, we're going to go to Coachella, whoop-de-whoop, blah, blah, blah. And then word on the street was that they were canceling it. And then making an excuse that the Airbnb app company was telling them that they couldn't Airbnb because of whatever, certain reasons. And then they would put it back on a listing for like 3 or 4 times the fucking price. That's a fucking scam on its own, dog. That's nuts, bro. Like I said, when I went, it was none of that shit. Like, people were stealing phones and people were stealing people's campsites. Like, I've talked about this on the We Don't Smoke the Same. At what year was it? Coachella 2016. Like 2016 or 2017. I was there and I had my girl and we're fucking gonna go to Coachella and she has her sandals and we're gonna go watch. Who was it? I wanted to watch G Money or Jeezy. It was Jeezy. That's his name, Jeezy. I wanted to go watch Jeezy. We're on the fucking way to go watch this fool. Someone throws up on her fucking feet, or she steps up on throw up, one or the other. I don't remember. I was in a sick one. We're walking to the event. Someone throws up on her, or she steps on throw up. She starts fucking complaining, being a female. Blah, blah, blah. I need to change my fucking sandals. And I'm like, nah, let's just throw.
Deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hack.